To check in now with Miles Kipper. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. He is on the phone, and he was on the bridge when that tanker went right through that large group of protesters. Is it Miles? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and it is Miles. That's correct.
Miles, thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it. I don't know if we can show the video, either I'm talking to my producers now. The traffic cam. Is this Miles' video that we're looking at? Somebody can tell me in my ear. All right, thank you. All right, so Miles, tell us what we're looking at here.
Okay, sure. So I was out in the protest the whole time taking pictures, and as we were kneeling in the crowd, we heard a horn and a revving engine, and I look up camera in hand to see this semi barrel into our group of protesters. In the picture that we're looking at, it's a protester who climbed up on the window to stop him. And the video that is currently playing is this truck getting mobbed and trying to back up over protesters and then just driving forward, I think out of fear for his own life. And I don't know any motives besides that.
Okay. Just describe the scene as you're videotaping, and there they pulled him out. Describe what were you thinking when you started shooting this video?
I started shooting this video thinking that I was going to record this guy running over protesters. I know some of the people who are out there peacefully.
Yeah.
And as it progressed and I saw him get pulled out of the cab, I realized immediately that this was going to be a video of a guy getting beat to death. We could hear him screaming. We could hear the crowd screaming. And I thought they were going to throw him over the side of the or over the side of the bridge.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when we saw that.
Yeah, so as my camera cut, that was the time that I ran into the fray and joined a line of I don't know how many other protesters, but we stood the line and we protected that guy.
Describe that scene. What was that like? I mean, we saw that from our chopper. We did see people trying to keep other people back and somewhat under control. Describe that scene.
Sure. I'm in that video. I have a bike helmet on. I'm on the left side. And, I'm a rugby player, so being in a scrum is not something I'm a stranger to. And it felt very much like an angry scrum. With a team of really angry people punching and kicking and screaming bloody murder, and a tight group of protesters who are out there for the right reason, screaming that this isn't what the movement's about. We can't hurt this guy. If we kill him, we're screwed.
Right.
It was tense. I have no idea how long it lasted. I have no idea how long we were in there.
Well, it wasn't very long, Miles, to be honest with you. Once he was pulled out, the people that were there trying to protect him so that he wasn't hurt as badly as he was, it wasn't that long before the police showed up. And then did you guys then deliver the driver to the police?
We delivered the driver to the police, yes, and we all got maced at the end. I'm actually not that mad about it because I think the police were entering a really scary situation. I think everybody was in a really emotionally tense and scary situation, which is kind of where we've been all week. And it could have gone a lot of ways. I'm really happy that no one got killed and no one got seriously hurt.
It's funny you say that because when we were watching this all take place on live TV, and the police, I think there were 3 squads that first showed up in that area, they were completely outnumbered. I mean, there's just no doubt about it that could have turned ugly in so many different ways. And obviously can't fault the police for using that type of protection for themselves. Did you by chance, when you were standing there, because all we see is the aftermath of the truck being stopped, did you hear the horn? I mean, could you hear people screaming, get out of the way? What did you hear?
And talk to other people about it because it was a traumatic experience and I want to remember it accurately. The best of my recollection, we were all kneeling on the freeway. We stood up and moved 10 to 15 yards further south on 35 and kneeled again. At that point, I heard screaming coming from the far side of the crowd, along with a honking horn and a revving engine. And at first, you feel like you see this in videos, but it's not here. And then I look up. I was with my wonderful girlfriend, who was a few feet in front of me, and I scared her half to death. And this truck scared her half to death as we fled for our lives, because no one knows what this guy's coming for. And he deliberately swerved towards the median, towards protesters, is what it looked like from my perspective. As he came in, everybody parted like the Red Seas, and people scattered. I have no idea why he stopped.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk that the truck was leaking gas. That is not correct. People were throwing water bottles at it, as far as I could tell, and I was there for a while. I have pictures. There was no gas leak. We weren't in danger of getting blown up. It was just danger of this dude trying to squish us for whatever reason, and it was terrifying.
Do me a favor and describe him. What, white, African American?
He was a white male, probably 5'8" or 5'10", skinny guy with glasses on. I have pictures of him through the windshield, looking terrified.
Yeah.
And I have a recollection of seeing him curled in a fetal ball, screaming bloody murder for his life as people kicked him in the head. So I didn't really get a good look at it.
How many of you stepped in to try to prevent that the crowd from absolutely pummeling this guy?
You know, I was aware of the guy on the left of me and the guy on the right of me, and I don't have a good awareness of what was going on much past that, and I would estimate 8 or 10. And yeah, it felt, I had no idea where the end was.
Yeah.
We just stood there trying to save this guy's life as he tried to get away and screamed and crawled behind us. And as endless waves of people tried to reach through us to deliver some rightful justice, because a lot of these people almost got run over. A lot of these people's kids were there. A lot of these people's wives were there. I understand why people were so mad, but a man being murdered is what started all of this. People standing by and watching somebody be killed by another group is why we're all in the situation we're in right now. You know, my family has a really long history in Minneapolis. We were a red line family. We moved across a red line. My grandpa served in World War II and migrated here from Paris, Missouri. My uncle is a community leader, and my dad is a world-renowned musician. We were born and bred in Minneapolis. We have a lot of history here, and I can't stand by and watch our city be torn apart, and I can't stand by and watch us look like a bunch of jerks in the national media, because this isn't who we are.
Right. Talk about describe your, I mean, what a lot of people would turn and run, and we saw a lot of people turn and run, and not knowing the situation. There were a lot of people that didn't. Why you? Why did you decide to be one of those people to step in and stop this from happening to this guy to the point where he could be arrested and taken into custody?
As I stated, people standing by and doing nothing is why we are in the situation we're in. I've been at these protests every day, every night. I've been out there with my camera, and I've been out there trying to share what I'm seeing and share both sides of this. And for me at that point to turn and run, if that guy would have died and I would have been there, I would never forgive myself.
Well, this is about 4 hours after all of this has happened, and we certainly do appreciate you coming on, sharing this video with us, and more than that, sharing the perspective of what it was like down there when all of this took place. And like I said, we really do thank you, Miles, for joining us tonight. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Randy. I appreciate it.
You bet.